I've been watching the sow pig, who
Oh,
I don't
look at
know.
her.
Oh,
The
she's on cam.
sow
She's on
pig.
cam. You can see her.
She is. No, she's skinny pig now.
She is
Yeah,
snatched
she's
at this point
always
in
going to
time.
be our sow pig, though.
She's lost 3 pounds.
She's
I
been
know,
farting
she's-
a lot recently. Have you noticed that?
Really?
Yeah, she farted right in my face today. It was bad.
Interesting. Well, on that note, everyone, welcome to. We've got a lot of poop talk going on this.
I know we do. I did. Listening back to that last episode, I was like, wow, we really went in on
We'll
it.
tone it
Yeah.
down this episode, we promise.
Welcome to There Are No Gays in Montana, the podcast where we talk about growing up gay in rural America and pooping and farting.
No, we don't. We don't. We don't.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Tyler.
I'm Ariel. Hi.
Isaac and I are jet lagged.
Yeah. Okay. So tell the listeners where you've both been the last week.
Okay. I was in Hawaii for work.
How about you?
I know.
as they
Poor
say.
me. Poor me. Yeah.
And at the same time, I was in India for a week.
We're in India.
Bangalore, otherwise known as Bangalore, which I just learned, which I thought it was 2 different cities. It's not. It's the same city. Bangalore is what it's traditionally been known as, but it's its colonial name, and so its real name now is Bangalore. But then when you go there and you say Bangalore, everyone there goes, Bangalore.
Got it.
So then I just, after day one, I just started calling it Bangalore.
Okay. You really went off on a tangent there.
Yeah.
How
My
was
God.
Hawaii, though?
Hawaii was
Continue?
great.
Okay. Which islands were you on?
Okay, so
All of them.
I was able
Name
to
them
go
all.
to all of the, I would say what you would consider the main islands. So that's Hawaii, the big island.
Yeah.
That's Oahu.
Yeah.
That's Kauai,
Yeah.
and that's Maui.
Correct.
So those are the 4. Are you? Oh, you already know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
No.
You're
I
just
those
testing
are
me.
the
Oh.
big 4 in my
I
Lanai-
book.
always thought there were
Lanai-
7. Are there
Then-
7?
Lanai and
Oh,
what's the other one that starts with an M? I learned this while I was there. Are privately owned. And
Oh,
so it's harder to
God.
get to them, but people can like pay and you can vacation there, but they're extremely remote. And then there's 2 that are not for public either, but they're also not vacation spots. So I think there's
Wow.
7 total.
Wow.
No, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8
We'll fact
total.
check you. Don't worry.
Do you know what the state fish of Hawaii is?
Huma huma oot nuka nuka apua.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that from 51st. No, forgetting Sir Marshall.
Oh, yeah. The place is magical.
Yeah?
So I was there 10 years ago and it was amazing. I was there with my family, but I think I kind of forgot. I also have such a different frame of reference of my life and the world and traveling places and things like that. But it is just, I mean, I love the place to death.
Obviously, this is a work trip, so you don't have much choice here. But do y'all engage at all with the thought out there that if you're not Indigenous, stay out of Hawaii? Like, we have enough visitors and we can't afford to rent, let alone live. And white people have kind of destroyed this land for decades and decades. Any thoughts on that?
So
Well, I think you're totally right, but it's like 2 things because I feel like you're probably also running into people that live and work there and have lived and worked there in the tourism world. I mean, Montana's like very similar. Tourism is like its third largest, I think, industry.
Montana and Hawaii
Industry.
are so
No, but
different,
like the
though.
fact that tourism is its largest industry.
Yes,
Right.
okay.
And
That's
so
the
you have
connection you're
people that
making.
work in tourism
Yeah.
that are like super grateful and also like very much like, no, this is our industry. This is what we do. And if we lose that, we have nothing.
I mean,
Yeah, but there's so much uninhabited land in the state
Agreed.
of Montana.
Right. But I think the difference is I don't know if people should be buying homes in Hawaii,
Yeah, for sure.
but traveling there,
so
I think that's kind of what it's built on.
part of the reason why
Now.
I think it's such a good experience is my experience this week. Even outside of main places, like I went to some
Yeah.
pretty remote places
How
that
cool.
people don't vacation,
Right.
and people are they have a lot of pride behind the state
Totally.
and the land, and so they're very welcoming and very like you should do this
Sharing
and you
it.
should see this and you should
Do it in a better way.
Right. I think so. I kind of was internally all week going back and forth on that, thinking
Yeah.
like it is crazy when you go to like Oahu, Waikiki Beach, and it is
Mhm.
so. I also think it's such a. How do I put this without offending people?
Just offend people.
Just say it and then we'll cut it out.
I think it's such a place that's for the common American tourist that wants to go to a tropical destination. It's a very like watered down version of an exotic place.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
And it feels safe and
feels safe. It is still a U.S. territory, like U.S. land,
yeah.
but it's tropical and exotic.
It's a way to like dip your toe into it.
So there's a lot of people that I think
Yeah.
would never have interest going outside of the United States because they think it's too dangerous that are going to Hawaii, and that is their like big
Losers.
exotic
These are,
vacation.
I'm gonna offend people. These are casino only people. Sorry.
And so
Losers.
it's just a very interesting culture from that aspect. You're watching, like I'm seeing like it's so family oriented. So there's
Yeah.
so many vacationers
Yeah.
there that are full families of like 2 to 3 kids that
Yeah.
are all young. And so that part is interesting, and just observing that. Plus it's also like a very like the type of people that are kind of in that realm too, very much lean into the like island life. So everyone has tacky Hawaiian like
I
bad
struggle
shirts
with it.
on
I
with,
struggle
you know,
with
like
it.
everyone's really leaning into like the I have like a whole bunch of flowers. And
I struggle with we're all hanging out on the beach pretending like this is America and like we didn't colonize it.
mhm,
Yeah.
I
Very
agree.
To be fair, we
Basically.
colonized
I
the
agree.
whole thing. So
Yes.
I think our group could really go off on like a
Hawaii trip.
4-day Hawaiian trip.
It's also really
Mhm.
outdoorsy, and what I love about
Is that a
Hawaii.
no?
I'm not going to Hawaii.
Didn't you just go?
I went 3 years ago. That was my one.
Okay, well,
Hawaii
I haven't
trip.
went since
See?
I was 9.
I'm
So
glad I went
who at the table
skydiving.
is standing most on principle?
I'm glad I went skydiving. I'm-
Shockingly me.
Okay, wait. Tell us about.
I'm glad I
skydiving.
went skydiving.
Tell us.
Tell us about
Isaac was
skydiving.
trying to tell me in Costco today, we'll be back in Hawaii in the next year. You could have
That
waited.
wasn't what I was saying. This is just classic Tyler, where he has a thing that he wants to do, and he just like can't
He makes it
not
happen.
do it. Like he just
He's a
has
decision
to happen.
maker. He
He
makes
has
it
to
happen.
be like, I have to force this to happen because I want. I don't even know why he asked me. He asked me like 2 weeks before. He said, "Do you think I should go skydiving?" And I'm like, "You act like you're not gonna say yes and just do it anyways."
Did you not want him to go?
I wanted to be there. Like I wanted to see the whole
Oh.
thing where like he goes skydiving and like
Yeah.
you and I go and we
Yeah,
go
I
watch and do
know.
all this, and then
He can do it again.
That's
Right.
what I said.
I know,
and
but
I
different,
I
like-
hope Isaac comes.
his first time, like I could have been fun. And also like
You're
not.
making my skydiving experience about you.
I think it should be about us. Don't you think? Don't you want someone to be there?
What if it was just for me? Like, what if I wanted to do it?
That sounds like classic Tyler. That's my point. What if it's about me? What if I wanted to do it?
Okay, how
So-
was skydiving though?
I
Was it
learned
great?
this afternoon. Isaac wasn't actually maybe that happy that I did it. It was amazing.
Okay,
It
tell
was-
us. Tell us.
Phenomenal. So I was potentially considering going skydiving in Washington.
Mhm.
Didn't end up happening. So then when I was down there, I'm like,
Why the hell not?
and why the hell not? And it was very extreme, I will
I
say.
want to know how
famously.
you felt in your body in the plane.
So I'm someone that doesn't like that kind of stuff doesn't really scare me. Like I don't get very nervous. I was talking to Isaac on
Not
the
us.
I
Could
know.
not be us.
phone. I was
I
talking
would
to
have to
Isaac.
be tranquilized.
I feel like that on a plane. Every time a plane takes off, I literally am like, "This is the one."
Talking to Isaac before going, he's like, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "Not really," because I just usually tell myself like, "What's the worst that could happen?" Like when I go on a
Death.
roller coaster, die, and then I was like,
That's
"Oh
what
wait."
he said.
Then I go, "Oh wait, I guess this is like really maybe is one of those things that it could happen." But I think there was multiple times throughout the whole experience where I'm like, if I was someone that was nervous, that would have freaked me out, or like that would have freaked me
What
out.
would have freaked me out?
So just to go over it like high level, you get there, you get your little check-in thingy. The people are showing up. All the people that like work in skydive in Hawaii are exactly what you would picture. It's like
Thrill seekers.
shaka bra, thrill seekers,
This is their
adrenaline
whole
junkies.
life, work,
Listen,
social.
just, like,
Skydiving
Yep.
in the morning, surf
Yeah.
lessons in
Totally.
the afternoon.
Yeah.
I mean, you said your instructor was on his like 6,000th
Yep.
dive.
Yep. Moved
Dive?
from yeah.
Do you call it a dive?
Yep.
Okay.
Moved from
Jump.
Canada, was married, got divorced, and got into skydiving. And is
Y'all
like
had a lot of time to talk.
we
on
did
that.
have a lot of time to talk, and
descent.
I had a lot of questions. So you show up and you get your person, and they go over the like 2 times throughout the entire thing. They go over like, this is what you're gonna do at this point, and this point.
I
and
need to do things.
So in my mind, I'm like, if I'm someone that was like really nervous, I don't know if I would remember this stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause they're going over it, and then also it happens so fast.
Is it important that you do those things?
I mean, he was like, if you don't do it, I'll just force something for you if I need to.
Yeah.
So it's like not the end of the world, but
Right.
like it makes it easier for me
If you
if
can
you do
this.
these things.
Right.
Were you the largest jumper?
Yes.
Because
Is
there's
that why you had-
limitations.
Your jumper? He's beefy.
No. So I asked.
Yeah.
that.
Did they pair you up?
So I asked that. I said,
So
is
like a
there
jockey?
is there ever like a body size or type or height or anything that you have to like
Mm-hmm.
match people up differently? He's like, no, I've had, and my guy was kind of small. He looks beefy. He was
He's short.
of the smaller of
Okay.
all of them. And I was like, is there ever like you would match these people up? And he's like, no, I've had a 290-pound, 6'8" guy one time with me. So they give you the instructions. Then you all go out. It was me. There was 8 jumpers total on my flight. And there's 2 options too. You can go at 14,000 feet or 18,000 feet.
You did 14.
I just did 14. 18 is similar. It's just you get like 30 more seconds of free fall time before the parachute goes. And so
30
but
more seconds?
Yeah.
Also, I didn't know this too. It's only, do you know you're falling for like 90 seconds?
60
That's
versus 90
too
seconds.
long. That
It's
is
not crazy.
too long. That
At
would
first, when he
feel-
said it, I thought the whole thing was that. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
No.
It's not. It's much longer.
Yeah.
Wait, how long was the whole thing? Beginning to end?
Mm,
Feet off the plane, feet on the ground.
so you fall for probably, I fell for like 60 seconds. Then I think it was probably a good 5 to 8 minutes of,
Okay.
yeah.
Gliding
Pretty like
down.
quick, but
Gliding.
like, okay.
Yeah.
10-minute ordeal.
Ooh,
Mhm.
6 to 7
I'm
minutes.
getting
15
nervous right now.
15 minutes up in the plane.
So the plane ride up is longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first thing that would have freaked me out. So we all go. We're all waiting and we're
Yes.
sitting around waiting, and there's a guy named Scooter he's late to work. And
Scooter would be late to
we're
work.
all
It's
waiting.
a late to work name.
Scooter shows up.
Ganja ass name.
Scooter has had a bad morning. He is visibly irritated.
I don't want him on my dive.
I know, right?
That would have thrown me.
Someone they're like handing little supplies around to each other that they need, like, and they hand it to him, and the one person's like, "You're going all the way up," like saying he's going to the higher one. He's like, "Yes, I know." And it's just like, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Oh my God."
Wait, he's
Office
a customer?
politics, they happen everywhere.
No, he's
He's a jumper. He's a jumper.
he's a jumper.
I
He's
do
in a
not,
bad mood.
You're not allowed to be in a bad mood before my life-ending dive, potentially.
But I will say, you can also, so there's different levels of packages you can get for media. One where they have like an arm camera that they film you, right, and take pictures. There's also one where there's a separate person that dives on their own that
He was
does
that?
film. He was that. So he was on his own.
He wasn't attached to a body. He was a
Right,
photographer.
correct. They also, those people have different suits, so they can, like, they've got like webbing, like those squirrel suits, so they can speed up and slow down
they
really
have
fast
base jumping
to catch up
suits.
with people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But also a parachute, obviously.
Obviously a parachute too.
Okay. Well, people just jump off cliffs and do that too, and I don't understand how that
They have
works.
a parachute too. Base jumpers always have a parachute.
But they're not using it.
Well, they
At
dive
some point they do.
as close to the tree level as possible, and then eventually you need your parachute to get on
Well,
the
I've
ground.
never seen that part.
You think they just
So
land
you
and
just
run?
thought they eventually slow down in the air and just get on their feet and just
Submarine.
run and slow?
Yeah.
Well, I thought they're going like this, right? And then they just.
You're insane.
So you get in, everyone gets in, and it's like there's 2 rows, and they're these little benches, and the plane is small and rickety.
He
and
did send pictures of like.
there's 2 benches, and everyone straddles the benches, and you sit back to back, like facing backward.
Were people freaking?
No. So
Who
there
was
was
the most freaked out?
there was a couple that was on their honeymoon. There was another, I think, presumed Gaiman and me. And then there's a family, a son and a mom that were doing the high one. I think the wife of the couple get on their honeymoon was probably the most nervous. So another thing that would have freaked me out or freaked people out, the plane takes off extremely steep.
fast.
Like
Like
probably
it
the
goes-
steepest you've ever experienced.
Oh, for sure.
In
Like-
aviation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I would not be okay.
Yeah. And you're all sitting, you have no seatbelt.
Is it
You're like
open?
sitting on this bench.
No, the door's closed.
There's like a little roller thing, but it's not,
The
it's
garage
like,
door.
it's like plexiglass type thing. Yeah.
Ooh,
garage door.
I'm
Clear.
like,
Oh, yeah.
like-
You're like right there. It's that part's crazy too. So it takes off. It's everyone's like shifts forward and is like pushing on the thing, so you're not like falling forward. And it takes off, and then it goes up. And my dude's behind me, and he's like talking to me. He's like, "Okay, we're this high now. We're about this high." Then eventually, another thing that would kind of like, it's just like, it all just happens so fast too, right? And one thing that I didn't really think about is you're sitting there as an individual who's never done this before, and you're like, okay, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do this, and you think you have time to process things, but they're doing their daily job that they've done every day, like you commuting to work. They're just doing things automatically, so
Yep.
they're all like, we reach a certain height, and you can see everybody like start to like strap their people in a certain way, and they're like checking straps and stuff, and then we reach another height, then they start pulling out. They didn't tell us this. They start pulling out oxygen masks. And in my mind, I was like, do we need those? Like, why is there oxygen masks coming out? So I asked Riley, I'm like, what are those for? And he's like, well, if you go above, I think 15,000 feet, you're required to have an oxygen mask in the plane. So the people that are doing the halo jump, which is the high one,
got it.
are going to put oxygen on as we jump out.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you know at this point it's coming soon.
Yeah, that it's coming soon. Yeah. And so he's kind of telling me like we're at this altitude. Then he does the extra strap things. He's like, okay, we are completely strapped up. Like there's no reason at this point that we can't jump out of this plane if we were to have to.
Okay, great.
Then the plane like kind of levels out and slows down a little bit, and they open the door, and it just like is so fast, like it's just like you don't have much time to think or do anything.
Yeah.
It just all just happens, and everyone's like, so the first people go. And then basically what you do is you like slide. He's like, you just kind of lift your feet up because we're so attached that I'm going to like slide us to the end
He's behind you.
because I'm last. He's like, I'll slide us to the end. Then we're going to turn and you're going to sit on the edge of the plane, out of the plane with your feet.
Oh my
And he's
god.
he's like, try to hold your feet on the bottom of the plane
No.
and then hang on like this.
Oh, I couldn't do it. do
And
it.
then he's like, don't try to like rock or do anything. He's like, I will rock us out. But just like all you need to do is sit. And he's like, it's going to feel like you're out of the plane because you're pretty much out of the plane. And so we slide
Where's his head at?
like right here. I would say like a
Weren't you
head,
strapped to his stomach?
a head above mine, and I'm
I'm just
strapped.
picturing this person that's shorter than you, can't see
I-
because you're in front of them.
I thought it was going to
He's
be
like
like that too.
Talking in your
Tyler's
ear.
like this, blocking the wall, and he's like, "Okay, so I'm gonna push you over," but he's like down here, like this little backpack man.
No, he's kind of
Yeah.
in like a baby Bjorn situation
Yes,
on his chest.
exactly,
Oh.
exactly.
Wait, what do you mean?
It's just like
He's
lower.
holding Tyler like
My
his
head's like
baby.
right here on him.
Like if he had a front pack, that's where Tyler is.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like here.
Yeah.
But when you're both sitting on this bench, you're here.
Well, they've started unstrapped, right?
Yeah, we're not completely strapped together.
Until
We're only
the very
partially
end.
strapped together until like the last 3 minutes.
Where were you? He just gave
I
like
need to be
the-
strapped from the
I know.
ground. I need to be
So-
strapped to a person from the parking lot
I know.
to down. Yeah, the whole.
But it all
experience.
just happened so fast. And then all of a sudden people are jumping. You're like, okay, there's one before me, two before me. Okay, I'm next.
Yeah.
But so they go, the wife of the
honeymoon couple.
honeymoon couple goes, and right, I had to talk to her after because it was so funny. But right after, like when he went to rock and go out, she's like screamed really loud. And so she like rocks back and you hear her go, and the husband looks at me and he goes, whoa. I was like, oh my, that's when I'm like, okay, it's happening. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's happening in like the next 27 seconds.
Yeah.
Because they're all going out and it's
Boom,
taking about
boom,
8 seconds
boom,
each.
Boom.
Yeah.
When you're
so
falling, are you kind of all together, or are they like way below you?
they're way below you, which
It's a very individual experience.
yeah, because I wanted,
Well,
I
not
was,
individual. You've got your
when we were actually falling, I was looking for them. So like, I want to see if I can find where everyone else is. And I couldn't
Couldn't.
until they opened their chute.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So then we get to the end, he puts me out and it did feel weird. At one point, out of just reaction, I went like this, like to the side of the plane because when we like sat on the edge, I was like out of the plane. And so then we like, he rocks and then we go out and like do kind of like a flip. And then all of a sudden, like in my view, the plane like came back into my view and it was just like falling above. It was crazy.
I'm like imagining it right
Yeah, the first like 10 seconds I think was like insane.
now. Your stomach.
Yeah, that's the part that
Oh,
scares me because
yeah.
you're like, I'm falling.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
eventually, how long did it take for that to like?
I would
go
say
away?
like 4 or 5 seconds. It felt like you were falling like on a ride,
Mm-hmm.
and then it like neutralized.
Interesting.
So then it was just like extreme wind.
Okay, that's kind of
Was
cool.
it cold?
Yeah,
I bet.
cold, and you put your arms out like this, and everybody I put together was stretching. All the divers were stretching
Mm.
before,
Mm-hmm.
and I was
Oh.
the way the wind was like bending your body like a scorpion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was kind of like, whoa, this is like,
That could fuck your back up. for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was great.
Wow.
The one thing I wish I would have done is pop my ears earlier because when you were
Oh.
falling, the pressure was changing
Yeah,
so fast that
totally.
it started to ache a little bit.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was like, oh, I should just pop
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And then he pulled the chute. And then
He
it was,
pulls the chute.
he pulls the
Okay.
chute. Then it was extremely peaceful.
Yeah. Then you're just
And
looking at
beautiful.
Hawaii from a drone's view.
Yeah.
that was. What about pictures and video? Do we have that?
I'm not done yet. We just pulled the chute.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. So then we glide around. He let me like drive.
Yeah.
He let
fun.
me glide. He's like, are you like a thrill seeker? I was like, oh yeah, look at, I'm here, right? He's like, you don't get motion sick? And I was like, no. And so he like yanks on the thing and we like
Really fun.
go upside down and
Oh,
like spin down.
fun.
It was
Fun.
cool. It was like G-forces. I was like, "Ooh." It was cool. It was fun. He said he had someone throw up in
I
his
was gonna
mouth
say, has
the week
anybody ever
In his
before.
thrown up?
mouth?
Someone threw up in his mouth the week before.
Oh.
Yeah.
how would you? Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, did they say, like, what happens if your dive partner is somehow incapacitated in those 10 seconds? Do they say, okay,
Caesar.
here's the chute. If anything happens to me, you got to pull it here?
No, and I didn't even think of that.
I'm sure it
Until
would
you
be
just
so
said
rare,
that.
but like, what if he conks his head on the way out and then he's
Right.
just passed out?
Wait,
Just
I didn't
passes
even
out.
think of that.
Seizure. First
The other
time
thing I
ever.
never asked, which
Unpredicted.
I wish I would have thought to ask, is like, is there a point when you can still say no, or is there a point, you know, like once you're like slid to the end,
It's like a
they're pretty
safety
much
thing.
pushing you out of the plane.
Yeah, like you're going. There's no way
Like,
down.
So is there a point? And do you have people freak out and say like, absolutely, I'm not jumping out of
For
this plane?
sure.
And how often does that happen?
I'm sure it happens weekly.
Right,
Weekly.
Because how many dives do you think he went on in that day? 6?
4,
Yeah.
5, at least. Yeah,
That's
He's
crazy.
seeing so many people. Yeah.
yeah. But the parachute part was really cool, peaceful, gorgeous. Landing was interesting too because it was just, I'm tall.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're gonna have to give me like the
That is
highest
your
knees you can give me.
Yeah, totally.
And so we practiced
Yeah.
while we were doing it, and then we landed and slid on our butt, and it was nice.
Okay. Did you see the Bachelor skydiving landing where she gets
Mm-mm.
really fucked up? Oh,
No.
we'll watch it after this.
Oh no.
It was Pilot Pete's season.
Uh-huh.
He goes skydiving on a date with someone, and like
Pilot Pete.
on the landing, whatever girl he was on a date with gets like It's all they aired it, the footage of her landing
Oh
and
my
like
God.
being fucked up by the
Yeah.
landing.
It's
Yeah,
kinda like
it was
is it Amazing Race? Which one is this watermelon just fucking nail her in the
Amazing
face?
Race.
Amazing Race, right in the kisser.
Mhm.
Right in the kiss.
Famously on our Instagram page.
Yeah, that
Um,
one.
Anyway, so
What else?
that was pretty much it. It was phenomenal. Loved it. Would do again.
How much was it?
Wow.
$199.
Wait, that's so cheap.
I know
Yeah.
that's scarier. I'm like, that doesn't seem like enough.
I thought it was a min 250 minimum.
I thought it was like a
situation.
$500 venture.
$199.
$200?
Mhm.
Okay, well now let's talk about the footage.
I chose not to buy the footage because I didn't want to pay $100 plus extra dollars.
So $100 for the price of the actual jump is the price to photo
Two-thirds of the
ratio is
footage.
pretty
It's crazy.
Yes.
crazy.
Half the jump.
Well,
is
I
just
think what
footage.
happens is people just like have this amazing experience
Yeah.
and they get to the bottom and they're like, I want that footage.
So it's like an
or
upsell.
or
And
they're
and
so
a bunch of
nervous they're
people
like,
get
if
it.
I do this, I want the footage.
Because it's
Yeah.
the one time I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I elected to not have the footage, and then when we were putting our stuff on, he was like, "Is it okay if I film you?" It's like you're not. It's not like a you don't want to be filmed thing, right? If I don't want to film you, then I won't film you, but otherwise I
Yeah.
will. So then they do it, and then it's available for me if we want it,
And they offered you a discount already.
and then they offer
you
me a
haven't purchased
discount.
it.
Correct.
What's our time limit?
I don't know. It
Or is
doesn't
it
say.
perpetual?
It doesn't say.
Forever.
Can we wait till your birthday?
I don't want it. So really, if we're buying it for birthday,
I
it's gonna have to be
want
for.
it.
We're have to get it
I
for.
want
We're have to
it.
get
Listeners, we're
nice.
starting a GoFundMe.
We're-
We need $118 to pay for Tyler's both
We're
photos
gonna have
and
to get
video.
my skydive footage for Ariel's birthday
Mm-hmm.
is what's gonna have to happen here.
Ugh, it's
I
so
just
far
have to.
from
I have
home.
the. You guys, I lived it. I lived it.
I know.
You weren't kidding.
I know she's stinky.
Actually, she's fishy.
Yeah.
Glandy,
Oh, really?
glandy.
But it was
Yeah,
cool. It was really
That's nice.
cool.
And how now?
The other thing that I learned, which totally makes sense and was really cool to watch, is the experienced skydivers have like performance shoots. So they're smaller and more maneuverable. He's like, ours is like we're like a big boat.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
you know, going down, less maneuverability, things
Right.
like that. These other ones, he's like, it's like a Ferrari. And so watching
Yeah.
from the ground right under them, watching the filmers
Scooter.
watching them approach at, he said, we came in and we would land at like 15 to 20 miles an hour when we actually like
Yeah.
come down. 50 to 60.
Holy shit.
They are going 50 to 60 until they like
God.
hit the ground, get the ground.
You just burn your bum off.
And it was loud. It was like
off.
the
Oh.
name or like the sound watching them come in and them like spiraling and maneuvering to hit the right spot. It was like yeah, it was
just like that.
it was cool. So yeah, it was great. I would do it again. I think everyone should do it if they are open to it. I also don't think it's something everyone has to do, but it was a cool, very cool experience.
I won't be doing it, but I was getting chills just you taking me through it.
Yeah.
That's all I
You
need.
learn a lot. And I think once my guy realized that I was really interested, he was very, like, he called out
Yeah.
out loud everything that he's doing. He's like, okay,
Cool.
so we're reaching like this altitude. At this point, I'm going to start like maneuvering us so we can approach at the correct side.
Cool.
So like, we're at this altitude. I'm going
Yeah.
to go like a big left, big right, and then really sharp left. And that's when we're going to land.
Hell yeah.
It was cool. It was fun. Thanks, Riley.
Damn.
Well, I had a
You're-
little bit of the
you're a
opposite
real one.
experience.
I was gonna say, okay, what was your version of skydiving in India?
Mine was more of less of the thrills, more of the chills.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it was really good. So I was in India for a conference
Mm-hmm.
and I was there for 5 nights and I
Mhm.
was pretty much stuck at the Sheraton Grand Bengaluru Whitefield for pretty much all 5 nights. So I would not necessarily tell people that I experienced India
No.
by any means. But it was really cool. And I will say like the hospitality in India is unmatched compared to anywhere I've ever been in my entire life. It
Hell
was
yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you're a hospitality nerd, so
yeah,
I'm sure
and
you were
just like
nerding
and
out.
like everything is so cheap. Like you can stay at the Four Seasons in India for like $150 a night, which normally would be like $500 a night minimum in the States.
Inexpensive.
Yes.
Yes. But
Yes.
expensive for people that live there.
Yes.
Totally.
Very. But it was great. I went to the spa and I had a massage.
Okay.
It was great. It was like open till 10 o'clock. So I just scheduled one on like one of my last nights at 8:30.
Amazing.
Loved it.
Full body?
It was deep tissue, which I'd never done before. And damn.
They got deep.
Yes.
Was it just 2
Did it
hands
hurt?
or was it 2 people working on you?
one person?
Okay.
It hurts in like
It
the
hurts.
good way.
You have to
and-
breathe through it.
Well, I was thinking about it and it kind of, it's like not ticklish. Do you know when you're throwing up?
Uh-huh.
Do you know that feeling when you can't throw up anymore, but you like exert, your like muscles are contracting
Yeah, I
and
hate it.
exerting your
Yeah.
body?
I
It's the
hate it.
worst.
That's what a deep tissue massage feels like. But
Oh,
not in a bad way, but in like a like,
I don't think it's for me then.
and I don't think you,
You
would
have
like it
to
because
breathe
you don't
through the
you don't like
pain
you
because
don't.
it's worth it afterwards. If you have really
Yeah.
bad knots, that's like how you get them out.
It's just
so you
like
just have to be
it's
like, it's gonna
tickle-
be
like I can
20
I will-
seconds.
If I am
of
if
pain.
if I am
You don't like
have
being
like a
touched.
stomach flu, I will chug water between vomiting every single time so I don't have to feel that feeling.
I don't think it feels like that necessarily.
I'm trying
Okay.
to like it was like that part of your brain where like I
Yeah.
remember this feeling and that's the closest I could
Yeah.
get to.
You
But
just
it's
have to
like
get
this
through
like
it.
contracting of your body and body like pressure
Mm-hmm.
that like hurts but like feels really good at the same
Yes.
time.
Mhm.
It feels good once you're done with it. You're like, I got through that.
Yeah. But it was
Okay,
really nice.
riddle me this, because funny enough, I had a deep tissue massage today.
Yours was deep tissue as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1
I've only
hour.
ever done Swedish. This was my first.
This was
deep
a deep
tissue.
tissue. Riddle me this. You go into the massage room. They're like, here you go. Here's your sheet. Someone will be in a second.
Yeah.
Do you get fully naked or are you keeping your underwear on?
So this place,
Because they didn't give me any instructions.
this one I always ask everyone I've always been to. They've been like, it's up to you because they know how to maneuver the towel so well anymore that they don't care because they're like either when they turn over, they pick it up like this and then have you turn over. And then when they're massaging you, they're just kind of like reaching under. So it's the same thing. Yeah. It's like a little bit of this.
I will tell
actually.
you.
They're just like so professional about it. So
that
I
was
always
not my
ask.
experience today.
Okay. So I usually
I don't
ask,
think it is. I just listened to a podcast yesterday where they were talking about bad experience.
I usually always wear just my underwear.
Okay.
And by usually that was my third massage ever. So,
Okay.
But I asked her because they also give you disposable underwear,
Mm-mm.
which in my mind, I guess is like if you accidentally showed up without it. I didn't understand the purpose of the disposable underwear.
If you didn't want to get oil and stuff on your underwear, because they use oils on you.
Oh, that could be it.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Like you got nice
Yeah.
shit, not nice underwear.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Or you just want to put them back on and wear them for the
So
rest
do
of the
they-
day.
Okay, what was your experience like?
Well,
Ariel.
similar to Isaac, this is probably my like fourth massage of my life. It's like absolutely a luxury thing
Yes.
that I don't afford myself very often. But I have a new wellness stipend at work, and they just give you like a
Hell
debit
yeah.
card with money on it, and they're like, "Go spend it." So I
Yep.
was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get a massage." And because I don't ever get a massage and it's such a luxury, I did go get an $80 massage for 60 minutes of
Yeah.
massaging deep tissue, and that is an excellent price massage. So I knew I was gonna go get a no frills experience.
Right.
Because I would say your typical Seattle price for an hour massage is
$200 at
$150
least, yeah.
minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So to find a place that does it for $80 in West Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you're going to get more of a bare bones experience. So I came in with like the right frame of mind, but there was just a couple of things that happened. I would call them quirks that made me laugh. I'm still going to go back here. But the first one is the masseuse's headphones are so loud I can hear her K-drama happening in her ears the whole hour that she's working on me.
K-drama?
Like she's
Like
listening to some sort of Korean drama.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't care. You like listen to your TV show. Absolutely. Like you are massaging people all day. That's exhausting. So
Yep.
it doesn't really bother me as someone who's very good with the flow. The second one is someone else's phone in another part of the building is going off every few minutes with a Facebook notification.
Yeah.
I can get over that. It's no big deal.
Mhm.
It's not pulling me out of the experience. The massage is still
I would hate
excellent.
that. I would
The
hate that.
part that was interesting,
Get to the
was
underwear.
that-
Get to the undies.
I did keep my underwear on, but I really didn't need to because she basically pulled them down for me.
That's what mine did too. Like they pulled them down
off
and like
of me.
rubbed her butt.
And I was like,
yeah.
oh, my butt crack is out. She touched every part of my butt cheek
Yep.
with her hands and
So
arms.
I had the same too. I liked
And
it.
then the craziest part was that
She slapped it.
I think she was getting warm in the room, and so she opens the door to our little massage room. Because at some point, I'm like, there's natural light coming into this windowless room,
Yep.
Yeah.
and so I kind of like lean my head out, and I can just see the front door, which are just glass windows. So if you were walking by this massage place during the
Shut
hour I'm getting the
up.
massage, you would look in and see my side boob, my ass, like. The sheet's off of me. She didn't use the sheet much at all during the hour. I'm just naked. She pulled my panties down. She's doing an excellent massage, but honestly, next time I go, I need you to walk by the massage parlor
going.
and
We will.
see if you can see
We
my
will.
side
Hey, everybody in here, we got a
because I
sideshow.
was also like, I
This
wonder if
one's
they locked
caked
the
up.
doors because they take walk-ins. I was like, I wonder if they locked the doors. On my
No.
way out, nope, those
'Cause
doors
she's the
are
only-
open.
is she
Girls
the only
have-
one
It's advertising.
working
No,
in
there
the
was
building?
multiple massages because I
Oh.
walked in with another lady who also had a 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was like, this feels vulnerable,
Yeah.
That is so funny.
but it was a great massage, and for $80, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But
Mine was a little bit more private experience,
think
I will
so.
say. And it was very nice.
How much
and
was
also,
yours?
I think it came out to be like $60.
Hell yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
wild and everything is so inexpensive. And also, again, the service. Like, so you go to breakfast, which is included in your room,
Hell
and
yeah.
it's like better than any Vegas buffet you could imagine, which I
Mhm.
would say Vegas buffets are pretty top notch or well
Yeah.
known.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But just like a million different kinds of food. And then the chef
Yum.
comes around every morning and then they're like,
Talks to you?
yeah, it gives you their card.
Hell
And they're
yeah.
like, hey, are you coming back tomorrow morning? And you're like, yeah, actually, I'm going to be here till Thursday. So I'm going back 3 days after that, too. And they're like, great. Like, what do you want? Do you want me to cook something up? And I'm like, well, I've never been here before. So yeah, like, I want to like try like what's like traditional breakfast. And she was like, oh my God, yeah, like I'll whip you something up. Just let me know when you get here. What time are you going to be here tomorrow? What's your room number?
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's something that you tried there that you loved?
Many things. They have, I think it's called diso. I think it's diso. It's like a pancake, but it's made out of like rice
Mm.
and a few other things.
I'll fact check you.
I think
just
it's
in case.
DESO, but it's like this huge pancake and they roll it up. It's almost like a crepe and then you like dip it in things. So that was probably one of the best things. I mean, everything, every type of curry.
Yum.
Yeah, the food was really good,
Yum.
which I'm not like super experienced with Indian food. And to be honest,
Dosas.
it's called a dosa.
Oh, it looks
Dosa.
like a crepe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you just said,
It's
huh?
a
Yeah.
thin, crispy, savory crepe. South Indian cuisine.
Yeah, no, it's super good.
Ooh, it's made of rice, lentils, and fermented
I would say
butter.
it definitely improved my opinion and taste for Indian food. I just get tired of it because it is a lot of the like same.
No, you just need to experience different things. There's so
But
many
it's all
different
like the
regions
base
in India
same
that do
thing. But it's the
different-
same thing. It's just like
You're talking about it's like a rice
different taste.
or
Yes,
Like the
it's gonna be
spices are
rice,
very similar.
bread, some sort of
Yeah,
panini,
but how
some
about the
sort
naan?
of.
I could
No,
eat
no, no,
naan.
no, no.
I could eat naan every day.
Yeah,
every
the
day.
naan's
every
really
meal.
good.
day.
Yeah, I did love that.
I'm
And also,
sure
Take my hand.
Best-
Americanized Indian from the few places you've been to in Montana aren't giving you the best
I've never been to
education.
What do
Montana
you mean?
ever. That's never. They do not
How could that be?
exist.
How could that be?
How could this have happened?
How did you get this photo? You guys, I have to tell you about that.
Okay.
So you'll notice, did you notice on my skydiving picture? Sorry. Are we done with India?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry. What
Yeah.
were you
No,
saying?
we're
What were you
done.
saying?
Let's go
You
back
were-
to
This is a
skydiving.
full podcast episode.
Yeah,
by
You
the
let's
way.
were
go back
saying
to
something.
skydiving.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Keep going.
Just
though.
popped in my mind.
No,
Okay,
keep going.
something that's been really tickling me and I can't get over this week. It's so dumb. But Lex, so I told Lex that I was going skydiving and
She's gleaming down there right now.
I know, she's sitting downstairs. I told Lex that I was going skydiving and I was like, have you ever been? She's like, yeah. She sends me her photo that she posted on Instagram of her skydiving.
Yes.
And somebody commented on this photo and it just says, how did you get this photo? As if like
Like they didn't know it was a setup.
yeah, as if like Lex took her phone up into the sky and like selfied it or something.
There happened to be a drone.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Space.
How could this
Satellite.
have happened?
How did you get this
They've
photo?
never seen skydiving footage?
I have no idea.
Google Earth was doing that
I have
region
no
at that
idea.
precise moment.
Wait, that's
So it's become
funny.
it was this week because I was alone all week. It was like
Yeah.
literally an inside joke for myself because every time I would like see someone's cool picture on Instagram, I'd go, "How did you get this photo?" And I could not stop laughing about it. I probably sent it via voice memo 4 times to
Oh,
Lex
that's
this
good.
week. It's so funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, did you bring us any souvenirs?
I actually brought a lot.
Did you?
Huh?
Yeah,
Good.
because I get so much conference swag. So
Oh.
Is there anything that you
Great.
picked out and you were like, they will like this, and you like
Guys,
got us something that's not?
again, I was at the Sheraton Grand Bengaluru Hotel for 95% of my
They
time.
have to have boutique shops in there.
I didn't really see a single store.
Okay, well, I got you guys a couple things that I just remembered, so I'm gonna go grab them really
Okay. Go give them.
Oh my god.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Ariel.
Okay. Gimme.
Start with this.
See a bowl. Is it macarons?
Let's.
Coasters.
Okay, those are cute.
I
Cute.
love court coaster moments.
Nice.
Locally made.
Made in
I
India.
made sure it was. Nuh-uh.
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
shut up. I was like,
I
no
actually brought
way.
them.
Okay, and then also
Okay,
I
that's pretty.
love
That's
this.
gorgeous. Oh my
It's
god.
a coconut bowl.
That's actually really cool.
And
Wow,
I-
look at all the shell in there. It's
I
abalone.
Figured it kind of fit with your
Yes, with my vibe.
tacky vibe that you like.
Absolutely. It's not
Yeah.
tacky at all. I love it.
Yeah, it's kind of your style, right?
Absolutely.
Good.
know.
Thank
All right, everyone
love
can use a
it.
key bowl, right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone can use a
absolutely.
key bowl.
For all of our key parties.
Exactly.
Okay, Isaac, for you, here you go.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
Thank you. It's a black tungsten ring with koa wood
That's
in it. There's
nice.
when you were in Hawaii, did you see like there's koa wood everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so,
Things.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
when I was 9, so I don't remember.
Yeah. So got you that.
was
I
more
noticed
interested in
also
lizards.
today you didn't have your ring on. Where's your ring at?
It's in my bag.
Oh, cool. Why
The
wasn't
other
it
one.
on
It's always in my bag.
and not on your finger?
Usually I go to the gym at the fucking shindig
When was the last time you went to the gym?
right before I got on the airplane.
Oh, well, can't hurt ever to give Isaac another ring because he's already lost 2.
I have only lost 1 ring.
So what I like to say is 2 down,
one's
forever to
nice.
go.
This is really nice.
This one's really nice.
But this
really
one,
like this
I
one.
mean, I
pretty.
just couldn't resist that
Did
one.
you know his ring size? You must.
So, yeah,
I love. Thank you.
yeah, that one's really fun.
Okay.
Speaking of rings, what are we talking about today, boys?
Okay, let's get
honeymoon
into
to
today's
Hawaii.
episode. So today we actually met with our friend Adam. who's one of our new friends and has just moved into White Center. So he's a friend in the neighborhood. And we had a really great sit down with Adam, who's recently been going through a divorce for the last year. So one of the topics we really wanted to address and tackle was just people always talk about gay marriage and fight for gay marriage. And of course, but then the reality of that is also comes with gay divorce.
And Adam's gay.
And Adam's gay.
And Adam was a listener.
Yes. We
That
met
we
Adam
kind
through
of-
being a listener.
Yeah, we met
Yeah.
Adam through being a listener of the pod and kind of like connected over that.
Yep.
And then have become friends with him since.
Yeah.
We're hosting a party with him tomorrow.
We're hosting a party.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
White Center Pride.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, we're really excited for this one. I'm going to pre-warn everybody that it's so good that we did it in 2 parts. So this is actually going to be part 1. So I think we should just get into it.
I can't wait to hear.
All right, here we go. I listened to another podcast and they're like low level, mid level, I would say, celebrity. They were on like a reality show together. Now they have a podcast,
D-list.
D-list.
Yeah.
And it was Hannah and Paige.
Oh, if they're D, what are we?
Z.
Z.
You're not on the list.
Yeah, there's no
Anyway,
letter.
one of them is like doing she got asked to be in a Super Bowl commercial.
Really? Who?
Yeah. Paige.
That's fun.
I know.
Like
So
as an extra.
I think, yeah, she has like a small part
Okay.
in a Super Bowl commercial, but she was like, I was kind of like going back and forth on it. And then I thought, what is a singular platform that every single one of my exes is going to see at the exact same time?
Ooh.
She was like, Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
So I want a conversation to be had by every single one of my ex's families on that day.
Being like,
Yeah.
your ex is on a
Super Bowl
fucking
commercial. What
Super
the
Bowl
fuck
commercial.
happened? Yeah.
you idiot. And you're here on my fucking couch.
Yeah. I was like, that's a good point, Paige.
Okay, welcome, Adam. We're super excited to have you. How are you? What's new? How's your 2026 starting?
Pretty shitty like everyone else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone was like, oh, yay, we're over with 2025.
No.
And then it was like, no,
Right into it.
like out of the frying pan into the fire kind of situation.
Yep.
Yeah, I found out I might be a Canadian citizen, which
That's
is
a super valuable
timely
fact.
and exciting. They changed their laws up there
Okay.
to like allow for anyone who has a Canadian relative, like if there's like an unbroken kind of line
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
that Canadian relative. My grandma was Canadian.
Yeah.
And she had my dad. So, but she had him in the US, which meant that like in old Canadian law, you weren't a
Right.
citizen.
Right.
But they changed that. And so now you can kind of retroactively apply. And it's not even like you have to go through citizenship tests and stuff. It's like you have to apply for like your passport.
You just like fill out the paperwork.
You fill out the paperwork and then they
Interesting.
say like, are you like yes or no? And then
Wow.
they like send you like all of the stuff for
That's great news.
yeah, I know. I was like, wow.
Hell
Just in
yeah.
time.
Just in case.
Would you do it?
Insurance.
I don't know.
Just 'cause?
I've been talking. This is kind of like a dark subject, but like I've been talking with friends about like where's your red line?
Oh,
yeah,
right?
same.
No, we've
Like-
had the same conversation.
Like where, like what, like when would you peace out?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
My job is like so dependent on location,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
so like being here, like and
Right.
being involved in politics,
Yep.
and so it would be hard to do, but like. I don't know. I'm like, maybe if we don't have the midterms, I'm peacing out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's like,
Yep.
then it's like, yeah, it's really done. Or like, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people's red line is like, if they overturn same-sex marriage at the Supreme
Yeah.
Court.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean,
It's a really interesting
totally
conversation,
possible.
especially in the like I feel like I live in a small liberal country of Seattle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then like anytime we go home or anytime we like travel other places or anytime we read the news, obviously we're looking at the country holistically.
Yeah.
But then we've had many conversations like, what would it take to be like, no, we're leaving?
Yeah.
I said if Trump found a way to get elected again or be able to run again, I was like, well,
Yeah.
What about no election?
Yeah. I think that's more likely at this point.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe.
Well, he's
Yeah.
joking about it. And that's like the creepiest part, right?
Yeah, I just read a thing that's like, it's kind of like your classic cartoon where the villain haphazardly tells you their plan before they do their plan.
Yeah, which has happened like every single thing that they've like
Yeah.
done is like, oh, we're just kind of joking about that, or we're just like a trial balloon, and then well, no, now they're kind of just doing it.
Yeah.
So-
No, you mean no midterm or no presidential?
Both.
I hadn't heard that yet.
I think that's been in the. I mean, there's like obviously the big dark plot where it's like he could pull us into such like a international disaster, whether
Mhm.
it's like or whatever it is that he can enact like a we can't have an election because of
Oh,
dire times.
like what's happening?
Yeah.
I see.
So
Yay.
Canadian citizenship.
Anyway, 2026 off to a great start.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Adam, let's want to dive into a little bit about you. Obviously, we know you. We kind of met through the podcast a little bit, actually. I remember like DMing with you about the podcast when
Yeah.
we first met. But you are originally from Seattle area.
Yeah.
Is that what you would say?
Yeah. My great grandparents moved to Seattle from Norway, which is kind of a classic Seattle story.
Yeah.
They lived actually, I don't know, like a mile or two from where we are right now.
Oh, really?
And so my mom grew up in Seattle, went to school here. I was born in Bellevue and grew up in Maple Valley out in the suburbs.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So do you consider that like small town, or did you always feel like pretty tied to Seattle? Like, do you feel like you grew up in a city or a small town?
I didn't feel tied to Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle was like a place we like very occasionally went to that had like great food.
Yeah.
But
School
that's
shopping.
like, yeah. Well, no, I mean, like there's plenty of shopping in the burbs.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, we had to go to Spokane, so like we would literally go 3 hours to do school shopping
That's
in
wild.
Spokane.
I lived in the big city.
You barely had a Walmart at that time.
You had a Macy's.
Yeah, we did. Dillard's.
Yeah.
Dillard's. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so you grew up in Seattle area.
Yep.
One question I always want to ask guests is like, obviously, we're from Montana. What is your perception of Montana? What was your perception of Montana? What's your perception now?
So I actually traveled to Montana. My aunt lived in Whitefish.
Yep.
Took a train over there as a
Yeah,
kid.
you did like the all the way
Amtrak?
across.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amtrak.
Yeah.
And it was so fun. The most memorable thing for me was that like we found moose poop. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
so it's like that's like
don't see that
as a
every day.
kid, you're like, oh my
Whoa.
god.
It's
Yeah.
the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen.
But yeah, I didn't really have a sense of Montana other than it just being like kind of a little bit more like of a wild place.
Mhm.
Like unsettled. Or like
Yeah.
the Wild West.
Yeah.
Yep.
I grew up in a skiing family.
Yeah.
So a lot of I've never been skiing in Montana, but
Yeah.
people talked about it all the time.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because it's like where I started skiing. So then you kind of like, you start in one of the greatest places I feel like for skiing in North America. So then other people that come from the East Coast or like went to school at Montana State go skiing there. And they're like, no, you don't understand. Like ours was like a grass hill
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
fake snow on it.
They're like at one point when my dad worked for Boeing when they moved their corporate headquarters to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And he got an offer to move there, and my parents went and like investigated Chicago, and they were like, we need to go to the ski resort near Chicago because we want to see what we're getting into. And it was like literally a garbage dump that they had put
Yeah.
a chairlift on. Like it
Yeah.
was literally a garbage dump that
Yeah.
they had covered over with dirt and then put like a chairlift on for the skiing.
Yep.
And so they were like, we're not moving to Chicago, guys.
Okay.
So say.
Big
Back
factor.
BMW.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel about Seattle, though, in terms of like, people come there and they're like, oh my God, this is a really great place. So like, I've only ever lived in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of like, people from elsewhere come here and stay here because they love it so much. And I'm
Yep.
like, okay, that just reinforces that like,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of my place. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I think we'll probably get into today's topic. We want to talk about divorce because we felt like it was like such a, not a taboo topic, but it's just not talked about. And it's definitely not talked about in any sort of like queer sense. Because I feel like it's kind of the next phase, right, of rights is like we've spent so much time fighting for marriage equality, but it's like also at the same time that also comes with the reality of divorce
Mm-hmm.
and the stigma and the concepts behind it. And also, I think we have gotten to know you over the last year, and you're just like a very thought-provoking, well-spoken, but like funny. And we felt like it was a great opportunity for us to talk about your experience over the last year to however much time of your life. And like not in a depressing way, but can be if we go there, but also just like the realities of divorce.
In the fun divorce.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about fun divorce today. Talk about how fun divorce is. But I think to get us started, I wanted to kind of talk about like what was everyone's perception of marriage growing up.
And divorce or just marriage?
Let's start with marriage.
Okay. My perception of marriage was that's what you did. There was like no, like you're constantly working toward marriage. It was like a concept where like once you get married, then your life starts.
Yeah.
Was kind of like
Yeah.
the way I looked at it, I think. And like in my family, marriage was obviously very common. All the adults were married.
Yep.
For the most part. Like I have one uncle that has never been married, but other than that, like everybody I looked up to and everybody I was surrounded with that was of adult age was married
Yeah.
always.
Like an inevitability.
Yeah, like it
And
was
like everyone had their time and it just happened.
Yeah.
You
and
just
it-
got married.
Yeah, it was like an anomaly if someone wasn't married, and you'd be like, oh, that's different.
Yeah.
That unique.
Yeah.
All on your own. How special.
Yeah, like it truly was. It was like you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, which is literally what all my aunts and uncles and parents did. And then you get married, and when you get married, that's when your life like starts, essentially.
Yeah.
Was kind of my perception. It was just inevitable, a given.
Yeah. I think it was the same for me, but also like an extra layer like of like religiousness.
Yeah. So I was gonna say
Um,
both of you have religious upbringings.
and it was like anything that had to do with sex, like marriage was like a gate to that.
Yeah.
Because like
Mhm.
you were essentially a non-sexual person until you got
Yes.
married, and then it's everything that you thought about sex was loud.
Yeah.
because now you're married, and so
Yeah, that's so true.
Adam was just like, I cannot wait to get married.
right. Well, I mean, there's tons of people out there who
Yeah.
got married
I
like
know.
because they just wanted to have sex,
Right.
Like, and
Yeah.
that's obviously a terrible reason to
Yeah.
get married, but
Or they got sex or had sex and got pregnant.
pregnant,
And
then
got
yeah,
married.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you had to.
Yeah.
But it was definitely an inevitability kind of thing. It was like, graduating high school. There was like no question
Everyone
in my
did.
family because
Yeah.
everyone did it. And like go to college. Like it was on your trajectory of things.
Yeah. I think for me, it was the climax, for lack of a better term, of life. Like it was like the peak was when you got married. Cause I feel like it's so like shoved down our throats that like it's the happiest day of your life. It's
Best
the
day of your
best thing
life.
that'll ever happen to you. Your whole life is around the partner you pick. And then not so much when life started, but I thought it was like the peak. And then the rest was like not downhill, but just like a coast.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone grew up, like everyone was married. And so I just really thought it was like the peak of life. And so like it was kind of like my perception of the timeline of life was like 0 to 25. And then after that, nothing mattered because it was just working towards that pinnacle. And then the rest, it just kind of happens. You just like have kids and then you just like coast the rest through it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of mine.
Very ingrained. I have a friend, and this is aside, but I have a friend from high school, and you know who you are. She listens. But I was visiting her a couple years ago, and this like kind of took me back a little bit because I'd not really thought about it. But our generation is so much more like, if you get married, you do, that's great, but not everyone needs to get married. Like it shouldn't be your ultimate end goal for life. And she was like, one thing I really appreciate about you and Isaac as friends that I've had for a very long time is you've never, we visit each other or see each other, you've never like made me feel like I'm behind because I'm not married.
Mm.
And she's like, because she hasn't really dated much, and it's just like never been a part of her path thus far.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm really appreciative of your friendship because a lot of other people, the first thing they ask if they're from earlier in if they're high school friends or family, their first thing is like, are you dating anyone? And that's like never your guys' like
Yeah.
go to or what you're trying to figure out when you see me.
Well, I think that kind of goes back to like even the inevitability thing because
Yeah.
it's like there's so many people who I feel like make their marriage like almost their personality. And
Yeah.
then those
Mhm.
are the people who like are uncomfortable when people are single.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they're
so they don't know
like,
what to do.
Yeah, they don't know. They're like, they have no relation point because they've kind of made their whole lives about
Yeah.
their marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is a thing that happens when you go into marriage thinking like it's an inevitability. Then you're like, why
Yeah.
is this person an outlier?
Yeah.
Whereas
exactly.
like, the difference with being gay is that like we're already outliers.
There's no pressure.
Yeah,
And
you
so
kind of,
we
like,
kind of
remove
take
that.
that pressure
Mhm.
off of it, I think, a
Yeah.
little bit.
But from a heteros person's perspective, they would look at that and be like, "Oh, well, he's gay, so
Yes.
Yeah.
it's a little bit harder to like go and
Yep.
and
Fewer and
find
far
that."
between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting.
So on the flip side of that, what was with that in mind, what was your perception of divorce?
No.
Yeah. What? Divorce?
Under
What is
no
that?
circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Gay divorce is totally fine, but
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
They had it coming. Approved.
it was never right in the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just like anyone who was divorced in my church growing up, like almost immediately became a pariah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so it was like a shunning that happened. And I was Presbyterian, so like that wasn't even like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it like a quiet shunning, or was the church like, you can't go here anymore?
Well, like my parents got divorced when I was a senior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of my senior year, and like literally their entire friend group was all church people.
Yeah.
And in every single one of them like said you can't sit with us essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to my parents, like friendships that they had for like,
Yeah.
15 years,
Okay.
like dissolved immediately when they,
Yeah.
because like I think it challenges like multiple layers of like people's personalities when people get divorced, because it's like it's almost like a contagion. They're worried about a contagion happening, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
that there's some dark stain on these people.
Yep.
And then like if they're in our group now, then other people are going to be thinking about divorce, or
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Or like I feel like people are like, how could like what went wrong?
yeah.
And it's
Or
not
how did they?
like
how are they not able to fix it?
Yeah,
I
how are
feel
they not
like,
able to
yeah.
fix it? Like, how did that go wrong? Or what did they not know when they got married that they should have known already?
Yeah.
Is another thing. Like, how did they? There's things that came up that they should have already like worked through, or they should have never got married. Whereas, like, it's just like you just grow as people, and things just change. That's like a whole part of marriage and being with someone too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think too. So I have a question. Do you have siblings, right?
Yeah. Older brother, younger sister.
Okay, interesting. How much younger is your sister?
3 years. And my
Okay.
brother's 3 years older.
I asked because I felt like we also grew up in what people would probably call like the divorce epidemic, where it was like all of a sudden like everyone's parents were getting divorced.
The name of the episode right there.
And I think
Divorce epidemic,
divorce
yeah.
epidemic.
Honestly,
It's an
it might be.
epidemic. But with that, did you feel like there was also this movement by parents that were like, if we just can get them to 18 and through college and just do the operations of this marriage,
Yeah.
then we can get divorced.
Yes.
And I feel like there was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
couples and families that I knew that it was like their kids were like really approaching graduation age and they kind of just like couldn't do it anymore. So it either happened right at that time or like coming home from college the first
Yeah.
time was like the conversation of them being like, we're getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know lots of people where that happened.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like, there's probably so many factors, but
Yeah.
I feel like kids can sometimes be like marriage glue
Exactly.
in like maybe not the most healthy way, because
Yeah.
then you're probably like as a kid, you're probably seeing your parents like, I don't know, like not have the healthiest relationship if
Yeah.
they're just doing it for the kids. I'm
Yep.
very much like, don't ever like say I'm just doing it for the kids,
Mm-hmm.
because like you're not probably modeling what a healthy relationship
doing it.
actually looks like
Right.
to your kids, and like that sets them up for failure in
Exactly.
the future. So
It's just like this idea of sacrifice and it's all to make your kids' lives better. And it's just like, but you're kind of, there's such a risk of setting, what do you say?
message are you telling them?
Well, yeah, sending a message that like your happiness is not important.
Yeah.
What's important is that your kids' happinesses are. And that's something that they do and then carry on in their own relationships or can.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was just curious about that. But
I think I feel like that was common too. And there's always rumors like, oh, well, the rumor is so and so and so and so are going to like call it quits once the kids are out of the house.
yeah, once kids are gone, they're not going to make it. I
Yeah.
remember just having conversations with adults because I was kind of like really young in my family and my sisters were 7 and 8 years older. So I feel like a lot of my growing up was dinner conversations with adults being like by myself and know their kids. And it was stuff like that where it's like, wow, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when the kids are out of the house
Mhm.
and those kind of conversations. Because it was just
Yeah.
like a way to like, they could just put it in this box and not face it or not.
Well, you're like
have-
so busy
have
doing other
conflicts through it.
priorities
Yeah,
when you're raising kids.
for
Yeah.
sure. It just like gives you a little bit of a crutch to
Yeah.
lean on and be like, if we just focus on this, we don't have to actually focus on the like fractures in our relationship. I
Yeah.
feel like,
Yeah, I definitely think that's a thing that
yeah.
that people do to, I don't know, limp along
Yeah.
their marriage.
For me, divorce was extremely uncommon. And if it happened, it was talked about.
Yeah.
It was like this stain, like you said, where it was like, oh, did you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a shame.
Oh, my
Well, they say
gosh.
like they say like of the top 5 biggest life travesties, I don't know what you call it. It's like losing your job, death of a significant other, family member, spouse, not losing your job, specifically getting fired,
Mm.
and then death of a family member, divorce, and then your house burning down are like in the top 4 or 5
I would have not.
of like the hardest like human experiences to go through in life. They always list like those 4. I'll find the
Oh.
5th. 5th is probably bankruptcy.
oh,
I'll check.
Sure.
That sounds stressful.
Yeah. What about you? It was so uncommon for me. And I also came from
For divorce?
Yeah.
I think it was common, but I don't remember anyone parents going through divorce. I just remember my friends had divorced parents and my friends had parents that weren't divorced. And it was kind of like it happened when they were really young. And so I only ever knew them with like divorced parents.
Mm-hmm. I had one really
And
good
it was
friend.
constantly like conversation around like, oh, I'm gonna be at my dad's house this weekend, or I'm gonna be at my mom's house this weekend, or that kind of stuff. And it was just like to me, it always seemed just like I didn't have a lot of like religious aspect to it. So just like, oh, it's a different family dynamic. You have 4 parents.
This is really immature and fucked up, but I had
Let's hear it.
I had one of my best friends. I think we were probably in 4th or 5th grade. His parents went through a divorce, and they were like the talk of like we had a really close neighborhood.
Yeah.
So talk of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Some people were friends with the dad. Some people were friends with the mom. The mom moved out. It was just like a really big deal.
Yeah.
Tumultuous.
Very tumultuous. So I witnessed a lot of it because we were always at each other's houses, and like throughout the process, I'd be at his house, and they would be dropping off or like picking things up and just like fighting and yelling upstairs, and we were all just like, holy shit. But I remember, this is the fucked up part. I remember being
I'm waiting.
I remember being jealous of certain things, like
You're not gonna say 2 Christmases, are you?
things like that. Yeah. Or like
No.
he could get like whatever he wanted because
You're trying to
like
manipulate each other.
one
Bring 'em off
parent
each
would
other, yeah.
yeah, one parent would take him to Disneyland, and so the other parent would be like, well, I need to do something
Yeah,
of
I'm gonna
that
buy him a
nature.
pony.
Yeah, it was very like classic stereotypical, like he kind of got whatever he wanted, or was just like extremely spoiled because they would just
Yeah.
like, kind of throw stuff at him.
Yeah. So you went to your parents and said, Mom, Dad, have you considered?
Divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a thought.
looks like it's going
For us
great.
kids.
Looks like it's going great down the street.
Yeah, it's going great down the street. I just want to think about it. I think everyone could be happy.
Yeah. No, but I
Specifically
just
me.
remember certain things, which is so fucked up, to be like, wow, he's getting a lot of material things.
Tyler.
Might need to cut that out.
No, I'm going to make you leave that in.
Oh, God.
Okay, so then, Adam, I think we should go a little bit into your story.
Yeah.
So the loaded question of us, tell us about your ex relationship, how you got to where you are today,
Yeah. So
which is probably like, tell us about your,
yeah.
how long were you together?
we were together for 15 years.
Okay, so tell us quickly, your 15 years, if you just wrap it up.
High level.
Beginning to end. No, that's insane.
We met at a birthday party, like the old-fashioned gay way.
Classic.
And we were, I think I had just turned 22.
Okay,
So
young.
just a little baby gay.
Mm-hmm.
Old
And,
straight, baby gay.
Wait, pause really quick. When did
Yeah.
you come out?
I came out when I was 19, I think, or 20, late 19, early 20.
Okay.
Mhm.
So like
I had only
freshman year of college? College?
yeah,
yes.
end of freshman year of college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So he went home. His parents said, "We're getting a divorce." And Adam said, "Well, I'm gay."
Honestly, yes. It was a major factor.
Yeah.
And my brother actually was getting a divorce at this time too.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so I felt like I wasn't the only like
Man.
black sheep, you know.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is my time.
This is a great time to
This
get this
is my
out there.
time to just throw it out there. Oh, while you guys are doing this, I'm also gay.
While we're all hanging up our laundry, let's just do it together.
What a Christmas card that year.
It was a great. There were 2 Christmas cards.
Yeah. On the back, it just says in fine print, "Oh yeah, Adam's gay."
Adam was gay. He came out. Yeah, but it was. It actually, honestly, was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Because there was just too much stuff going on in everyone's life for anyone to be really concerned about.
Yeah.
What was
Mhm.
happening in everyone else's life. So
Yep.
both my parents were pretty supportive when I came out. So
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. So then you're sorry.
Fast forward
You're
2
22,
years.
21.
And we kind of just had like a classic, early dating story, couple dates, turn into like a couple months, turns into like, I think about a year in, we moved in together. And I don't know, kind of you're 22. Looking back, I'm like, now I look at 22-year-olds and
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
crazy?
oh my God.
We just had this
Like,
moment too.
Child bride.
Someone told us that
Child bride.
I met
someone
him when
told
I
us
was
the ages we
18.
got married, and I'm like, which I felt like, I guess I was 30, so it felt fine. But like,
Which
you
by our
were- when we
generation
were engaged,
seems-
you gave the engaged number, and I was like, what the fuck were we doing?
I was 25.
But it felt so normal at the time.
Right.
And honestly, behind, because all our friends were straight at the time, so it was like they were like on their first kid.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Anyway, child brides.
So we were together for 5 years before we got married. So we met in 2010, got
Yeah.
married in 2015. So right after like same-sex marriage.
Literally, yeah, same year.
But we had same-sex marriage earlier in Washington.
Yeah.
By like about a year.
Yep.
And I was actually in the legislature when working in the legislature when they passed same-sex
Oh.
marriage here in Washington, and that was like probably the highlight of working in the legislature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember like going back to my office and like crying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just because like,
Damn, what a moment.
yeah,
You need
it
like
was
a gay
very,
button or a gay flag or something when something like that happens.
Someday I think you can program these to whatever you want.
Yeah. You better word. Every time.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, like it was really emotional when that happened. Like
Yeah.
marriage was like a thing that like I feel like generations of people had been like of our like gay
Yeah.
foreparents like
Yep.
had been fighting for, and so
Plus, you were in it. Like, you were both getting married. Plus,
Yeah.
this thing was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
we got married in 2015. The governor signs pieces of legislation with multiple pens usually, and then hands those pens out to the people who like sponsored the legislation or who it was really important for. One of the legislators who had a pen gave it to me
Oh my gosh.
afterwards.
Yeah.
One of the Republicans who voted for this is like back in the day when
Yeah.
Republicans voted for marriage equality.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me, and we actually used that to sign our marriage license.
Holy shit.
So,
Damn.
Yeah.
That's not come up in the last year that we've known
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool story. But yeah, we had like an amazing wedding, and I know you already said this, but it actually like I think it still is, and maybe will be like the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Even
Totally.
even now that we're in the process of getting divorced, I don't know, it's just it was a nice affirmation
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
that like your family and your friends like support you.
Yep.
Yes.
And it was also a little bit of a party. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
another
It's like
Yeah.
very much this culmination of like this, like, I'm going to be more than okay. I'm going to like thrive. And I have all these people that like both as individuals and a couple. But
Yeah.
I feel like on our wedding day, it was like, oh, at all of our biggest fears about just being gay,
Yeah.
nothing to do with marriage,
yeah.
like went away. And they were like, ultimately, like, we're going to be okay. Even with the people that weren't there that didn't support us or whatever,
Yep.
it was like, damn, it was such like a visual
Yeah.
Yeah.
that I think was our biggest
Tangible.
fear. Just being gay growing up is like, no one's going to be there.
Yeah.
No one's
Mhm.
going to support this. And like the thing that day was marriage, but it was like anything in life. It was like, no one's going to support me. No one's going to support this.
Yeah. And I think we were arguing for such a long time as a community why
Yeah.
we needed marriage and not just like domestic partnerships.
Yep.
I feel like that feeling is it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like that feeling of like community support around
Yeah,
your
we belong.
around your marriage is
Yeah.
Mhm.
something that's like really meaningful.
Yeah.
Community is just such a meaningful thing like for humans. And I
Mhm.
think marriage is just like a very strong connection to like that kind of old throwback to community that we kind of are all losing as a society right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put that on the side. We'll write that down for
Yeah,
like,
right.
next episode.
Yeah, that's
Losing community as a society.
That's my
Yeah.
hot take.
Yeah. Okay. So then you get married.
Get married. We were married for 10 years. And yeah, I mean, I think you do so much growing in your 20s. Like, it's just wild how different
Yeah.
of people you can become. And there's
Mhm.
so many opportunities for you to become different people as you
Yeah.
go through your 20s. Jobs, just, change in what you want.
Beliefs,
Day-to-day,
philosophy.
right.
Like, yeah.
friends.
So much friends,
Yeah.
so many different factors. And yeah, I mean, like, I think one of the things that like kept us together so long is that we like doing, interesting, fun like projects together,
Building.
building, like
Yeah.
literally, and also I don't know, it's like a kind of a teamworky
Yeah.
kind of thing that we had for a really long time that kept us together. And then I think also time kind of keeps you together.
Yeah.
The more time you're together, like the harder it is to think about what it would be like
Exactly, yeah.
if you didn't have them.
Yeah. Well,
in
you're
your
just like,
life.
I've invested so much in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of like a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've been in
Truly.
this for 15 years, so might as well keep going. And I feel like a lot of marriages like
Yeah.
are running on that fume.
Yeah.
I
Or I
think-
feel like you think about what would it take for me to get back to this spot
Yeah.
later in life. Like it's taken so much time and
You're
work.
like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it again.
The
yeah,
investment.
yeah.
I think it's kind of similar to coming out. Like when I was coming out, it was like I could do it, but there's like zero guarantee that I will be in a better place or happier than what I'm in now. And I feel like there's a lot of people in relationships that they're like, I've been doing this for 20 years, whatever it is, and they're like, I'm comfortable here. Am I happy? No. But the thought of not having this person, or like what that unknown, the uncomfortable, how uncomfortable the unknown is so much scarier, I think. And so they're like, oh, I'm just gonna sit in it.
Yeah. And that was like, high level, ultimately the tipping point for me.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm actually like less, not scared, but I guess the thought of the unknown is like the lesser of
Mhm.
two evils in this situation,
Yeah.
of like staying in something and it's not working for me,
Yeah.
or like starting fresh, like from scratch essentially
Yep.
after 15 years. And like, I don't know, I think it's like I was 22, so like I grew up
Right.
in the context of my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, who am I?
Who would I be
Mhm.
without
Like,
this? Would I be a completely different
yeah,
person?
like
Yeah.
which parts of this were me, or which parts of these were like compromises that I made in the marriage, or like things that I liked to do only in the context of my marriage, or things that I just like to do naturally, and even down to like, what do I want my like aesthetic to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in my house, like in my
Yeah.
apartment.
There's
'Cause,
not
like,
this like check anymore of being like, oh, I don't like that, but I do like that. But
Yeah.
I like, so you have to like develop this style together.
yeah.
And
like,
then it's like, what is my own?
what is
Yeah.
it? And yeah, even down to like, what do you eat for dinner? Like it's mind boggling. Like that was such a crazy thing after the decision to leave, was like, I don't have to check with anyone
Mhm.
about
Yeah.
what's for dinner. Like,
Yep.
I don't know how, like, it's just such a small thing, but it happens every day.
Yep.
Like maybe multiple times a
Yeah.
day. Like, what do you want to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask that question anymore.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like one
The
of my
micro
favorite
decisions
things.
we go through every single
Yeah.
day as a married couple that you just don't even think about, that I'm sure you're
Yeah,
like, just
everything
like a
goes-
reminder every
yeah.
single day as you're going through this right now,
Yeah.
being like, wow.
It goes through a filter. A
Yeah.
filter of your relationship, a
Yeah.
filter of your marriage, a filter of what the other person wants or doesn't want. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 15 years. We didn't quite make it to 15 years, but I mean, technically we did because we're not divorced yet. But
Yeah. Very much going through the process.
Stay tuned.
yeah, stay.
What about the process of like the realization that you think that was the option or a real option? Like,
Yeah.
did you have like a time when you're like, okay,
Yeah, so
This is it.
I've heard from a lot of different people like about this now, because as you're going through major life things, it kind of like a little bit becomes part of your personality.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's the first thing everyone asks.
Mhm.
But a lot of people are like, oh, I thought about it for a really long time before I made the decision
Yeah.
to leave. And for me, it wasn't really like that. I think it was like a slow erosion instead of like a event
Mhm.
horizon kind of thing, where
Yeah.
you reached a point and it just like blew up, or an
Yep.
explosion. And yeah, it's like it was just like a creeping thought. And we did like couples therapy for like several years at the end of our marriage, and I did like personal therapy
Yeah.
towards the end of our marriage, and I like learned so much about myself
Right.
Mhm.
and my ex like during that process, that kind of like made me realize that like this wasn't working.
Right.
But like it's, when you're 22, you don't know what your attachment style is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't know, what kind of baggage you're bringing to your relationship. Like you have no idea. Like I didn't know that for the first, 10 years of our relationship, what kind of stuff I was bringing. I just thought I was like, just, I don't know. You don't even think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like once you go to therapy, you're kind of like, oh, like there's all this stuff I kind of have to work on
Yep.
that I'm contributing to this marriage. And I don't know, I wish in hindsight that I had known those things
Right.
like before
Mhm.
I got into my marriage, but that's not practical. Like
So you-
as a 22-year-old or 26-year-old when I got married.
Yeah.
So
So you're doing in tandem, you're going to couples therapy and individual therapy.
I was,
And
yeah,
okay.
individual therapy.
Gotcha. But your ex was not.
He was not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a piece?
It was a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, you can only do so much work on your side of the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And effort is super important in making a marriage work. Like it's not a one person job. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a contributing factor, and it just was like a straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
It was like a small little argument that we had over a coffee maker.
Yeah.
It's always the small things.
Yeah, it was that.
Was it a thing where the separation was on the table and an active part of your conversations, or was it like a cutover where it was like once it was like said or said out loud once, then it was kind of like,
I mean, we had been in fights before that had been like, I don't know what I'd call them, but like just like bad fights.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, we had thought about splitting up.
It was like
Yeah.
presented as an option internally.
Yeah.
Like, were you saying it out loud to each other?
It was never me saying it
Okay.
out loud. I think it was like maybe like a little bit of like a weaponized kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like, we're done. Like, I never said it, but it forced me to think about it.
Yeah.
Right. That's one thing I always wonder about people is like, is it something that like they're discussing actively for a period of time and then eventually they're like yes or no?
Yeah, I think some people are.
Or
Yeah.
is it something that's like just the way that I work? I feel like once it was like an option on the table, I think I would have trouble to like,
You can't take it off the table.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that that's a reality. I mean, during those fights, you know, I'm thinking like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to get an apartment. And
Yeah.
Right.
like,
You're going through all
you
the
know,
logistics.
Going through the
Yes.
logistics. And
The
once
barriers,
You,
yeah.
once you start to think about it, I don't know, I feel like I've heard people talk about like the once you start to think about it kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of people who think about it and just it never
All the
happens
time.
for them.
I think about it all the time. No, but like we kind
Yeah,
of
we do.
but we kind of operate like that.
Yeah.
Like we're very much like, if we got divorced, like we will talk about anything. We'll be like, if I found out that you had a full family and an affair and you've been doing that for 5 years, what would we do? Like we just play this game all the time of like,
yeah.
what is the like extreme thing and how would we handle it? I don't know if that's like
Yeah.
unique.
Am I going
or-
to be a sister wife?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like what would we
If
do?
we got divorced, which of our friends would you go after?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like, who would you date first? Like things like that, and like
Yeah.
not in a threatening way, but in like a, oh yeah, I could see that. Okay.
What
Who
if
would you
that
date
actually,
first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, or I think we'll say like, if we ended up like if we ended up like separating, I would be totally okay if you ended up like with one of our friends, like if that worked out better. I remain to believe that. I don't know if
Yeah,
I believe
well,
that.
it's easy to
Well,
say.
I think it's easy to talk about. Yeah, it's like easy to talk about hypothetically, right?
I'm like,
but
let's not
yeah,
get ahead of ourselves here.
but we do kind of like. I'm like, what kind of apartment would I get if I lived by myself?
Yeah.
It like doesn't have
or
to do
like,
with anything
this
with
is
divorce,
morbid, but if
I'm
one of
like,
us died, Isaac will say like,
Oh,
if one of
all the
us
time.
died, I would absolutely be okay with you
yeah,
having a romantic relationship with.
yeah. I'm like, if you died
XYZ.
tomorrow, what would we do?
Yeah. Would you haunt the house?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
an important
Would you
question.
move? And I'd be like, no.
This is a lot of house for one person.
I know, but I'm also like, some people are like, I need,
I can't be in that
something
space.
completely different, and I totally understand that and get that. But for me, I would be like, no, we built this together, and it's like I want reminders of you, but obviously you don't know that until it's happened.
Until it's
We
gone.
talk about like dark shit like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like a healthy way to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, like I think like bringing it up in like maybe sort of like a weaponized
When it's
way
happening.
is like or in a fight.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a good time to
Yeah.
to be bringing that kind of stuff up.
Oh,
What
don't
would you do?
don't
You're
worry,
fighting.
don't worry, we've done that
So what would
too.
you do if?
Yeah.
I left forever tomorrow.
Okay, so Adam, it's very much kind of like it's like a slow process, which I think, as you said, it's kind of like you start to see it starts to become an option, and then you start to explore these logistics of what it would be like if that were to be like the final decision.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like when was it like final for you, where you're like, this is done, I'm not going back, this is my final?
So I mentioned the coffee maker, and like during the argument, like I kind of just like stopped, like I just mentally got out of the argument that we were in,
Yeah.
into a different space, and was like almost like an out of body experience where I was kind of like viewing the fight while it was happening,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of paused and I said like, do you care about like how your actions like are impacting me, like how they make me feel? And he said like, your feelings aren't important.
That's a tough
And
one to
I-
come back
like,
from.
that yeah, and like maybe it was said in anger,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
like I don't know, if you don't have that, like if you don't have someone who cares about how you're feeling,
Like a baseline.
yeah, it's a pretty basic thing
Yep.
in a relationship. And it kind of also like confirmed how I was feeling already.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I was like, okay, like I'm done.
Yep.
And in the moment he said, I'm done too. And so that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably for him that was more of a like I'm done in anger.
Yeah.
For me, I was done.
You were done.
Yeah.
Did you have any moments of like, what's the right word? Regret?
No.
It was very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a switch had flipped.
Yeah.
For me.
Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about like the actual process of divorce. And like, we obviously have our perceptions of what you think the steps of the divorce are, but then I want to know like, what was like the first thing you did, and what are the things that you like didn't know or uncovered along the way that you had no idea about, and then about like just like the actual logistics and process of divorce.
Yeah.
And also, is there anything different because you were gay?
Yeah. So you'll probably have to ask that second question again.
Yeah, well, that's fine. Sorry. I'm like famous for being like, here's 50 questions that I want you to talk about. So,
and I'm famous for only being able
question,
to answer one at a time.
Question one is, you make that decision.
Yeah.
And you're the one that's like has made the decision to go through with divorce. What were like the first steps that you took? And were they immediate? See, I just did it. I just gave you a second follow-up question. Like, I can't just ever end it at the one. Sorry. What were your first steps?
I think you immediately become aware of how like dependent you are on the structures of your marriage, because like then they're gone in an instant, because like you're like, where do I even sleep?
Yep.
And then like for me, I was like leading up to this, I had always, and maybe this like wasn't a good thing in hindsight, but like I kept like the status of our marriage like very private amongst me and my like friends who I talked to about like almost everything. And so like I think a lot of them were like really surprised, because like that's just not like, they just like they weren't like, oh, like that might happen now. And so you immediately just become aware of like what your support network is.
Yeah. Like who your inner circle is.
Yeah. Like who your inner circle is, like who's going to step up, who's not going to step up.
Yeah.
Like immediately.
Do you want to name them? You could put a list.
Yeah, here's the list.
Here's the list. Who stepped up?
It's gonna.
Here's who did not.
It'll scroll down the video.
Yeah.
But no, it like became abundantly clear the people who like actually support you versus like people who like say that they'll support you but don't really.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because like you immediately get a sense of like who your like truest friends and support network are. And then like, yeah, like finding a place to stay is like the first thing you have to do, unless you're like wealthy enough to just go to a hotel for like a long period of time, which I'm not. So
there's very much a status quo of like, what's the formal process for the person who decides to divorce? Are they the leaver? Like there's the whole like, get out, you know what I mean? And it's like,
and I didn't plan on like that being the day that our marriage ended.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have any plan to leave or pack up things or anything. Like some people do. Like some people have like time to think about packing up their things and like having a plan to leave. But like I really didn't. I wasn't. It just happened.
Yeah.
It's just like the straw came, and I didn't realize that would be the day that the straw broke the camel's back. So
did anybody that was very invested in your relationship because they knew you as a couple for so long try to not talk you out of it, but like in a helpful, encouraging way, try to be like, no, this is what you guys should do, and this is what you should work on, and like,
you know, it's wild that you asked, because I haven't thought about that, but the answer is no.
Yeah. They were like, this is Adam's decision, and we're here to support him.
Yeah, I think like my closest friends, when I talked to people about the ending, I don't like, no one really questioned it at all.
Did you have pretty segmented friends?
No,
All
Very.
combined?
essentially.
Yeah.
A couple friends who I was closer with, but like almost all exclusively like
Together.
a couple friends.
Okay, so I work in marketing, so I'm gonna ask you a very marketing question. What was your comm strategy, and where did you start?
Okay.
Like who you were like, I'm going to tell these people first.
I'm a big ChatGPT user.
Okay. Well, I'm new,
Wait,
but I
idea.
am a fan.
So there's a lot of stigma around utilizing ChatGPT for all sorts of things.
Yep.
Right.
But like I had a real therapist, so I didn't feel.
Let me disclaimer this.
Disclaimer: I have a real therapist, not just ChatGPT. But I did utilize ChatGPT to like get a sense of someone else's reality, something else's
Yeah.
reality, because like sometimes you're, especially when you're in like a relatively private marriage, like sometimes you have you don't have a sense of like your own reality.
Yeah.
Like you lose a sense of what's normal and what's
Yeah.
not normal, and what's okay and what's not okay.
Yep.
And like I literally like uploaded primary source documents to ChatGPT
Yeah.
of like conversations that I had with my ex.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then ChatGPT would be like, well, like this is probably what he's trying to say.
Interesting.
And I'd be like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. And then like it would be like, oh, that's not okay for anyone to say to you, Adam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like, okay.
Interesting.
That's so funny. I'd be like, was it okay that I said this?
Yeah, right.
Yours would be a bloodbath.
I know.
Yes.
I think a lot of people use ChatGPT for like just an affirmation that everything they're doing is correct.
Yep.
And
That's
like
so true.
I had like, I think if you want to utilize it for anything like therapy related, you kind of have to ask it to be a devil's advocate.
Mhm.
Ooh, yeah.
And so you have to be like, what's the other side of that opinion?
That is
Mhm.
brilliant.
And so, and then it'll lay out. And then I could be like, well, I actually think it's closer to the devil's advocate side of the opinion
Yeah.
in this situation.
Yeah.
And over
Mhm.
time, like you've trained a model essentially to like understand how you function and likely how your partner functions.
Right.
It's very cerebral. And my therapist like gives me a little like slaps on the wrist for you utilizing
Really?
that.
Yeah.
But I think if you utilize it with a way, like you have to take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Right.
But it definitely helped in like immediately after I left, I was like really concerned about like how people would view me.
Yeah.
And ChatGPT said something along the lines of like, you really can't control the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, don't try, and just be honest with people. And like, eventually like the true story will find its way out.
Yep.
Mhm.
And like you don't have to worry about controlling what people think of you and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then like if there are people who like don't agree with what you're doing or
Yep.
don't believe you or things like that, like then like that's on them, and like you would just have to like let them go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like that, like it was a huge relief for me to be like, okay, well, I'm not going to try to like frame any sort of narrative
Yeah.
around this divorce or try to convince my friends to take sides.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm very opposed to that.
Yep. Very much.
And so, like I was, yeah, I didn't want any of my friends to be like, you should pick us. I didn't
Yeah.
want that. I specifically asked them not to
Mhm.
try to be there as a support for both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I met like Comstrategy, like, how did you decide who to tell and when? And I want to get to like, how was your family?
Yeah.
Like you said, your parents are divorced. Your brother's been through divorce. Was there any sort of like, were they hard to tell or not?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's honestly really hard to come out to the first person I came out to, which is my mom.
Yeah.
But it was really easy to come out to everyone else
Yep.
Mhm.
because like it felt like a positive thing.
Yep.
And this is not a positive thing. Like
Yeah.
divorce is not a positive thing.
Yep.
And so like it was actually harder than coming out to most people
Yeah.
for
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And I think there is like a component of like being gay and having fought so long for it.
Yep. You're like, and now I'm fighting against it. This feeling of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's like a
I'm adding to the argument for why people should be against gay marriage.
yeah, and then I look at the straight population, it's got like 50+%
Yeah.
of divorces, and it's like, yeah, okay,
I also
I'm just
think-
normal.
Well, there's
Yep.
like an element of like pride to it, and I think control too. Like you at least have when you're coming out to lean on like, I didn't choose this,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah, this
with
is
a
a
divorce,
choice. Yeah,
you're
it
like,
is a
I
choice.
chose to get married,
Yeah.
and now I'm choosing to end that.
Yeah,
Yep.
And so I think there's like it's not the wrong thing to do, but more like I was wrong about something that I like spent so much time, and we all spent so much time, and like there's like a self-admission part of the way your actions and where the path you've gone down that isn't necessarily there with coming out. Coming out, you're like, this is the way it is, and I can't change it.
yeah. I think I would only say like I don't have any regrets
Yeah.
about my marriage, so I don't feel like anything is wrong.
Yeah.
It was just the right time
Yep.
for me to end it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't regret getting married. I don't regret how much time I spent in my marriage.
Yep.
Which is a really good thing because it was 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's really good insight into, I think that's probably, I would assume, because I think a lot of us just like, we feel close with our friends day to day and they know us as people and they probably know both of us as people. So when you present something like divorce or something like that, and they're also in their own relationships, I don't think it's this like shock or it's this, it's always a reality for everyone that's in any relationship that there is a possibility that the relationship might end.
Yeah.
And I feel like your friends who know you probably understand that a little bit better, but family who have like taken this person in and have now seen you as this like
Unit.
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 Yes,
Yeah.
that's a great word.
Entity.
Unit. It's one thing, right? And that you're breaking that, and that this person is no longer going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like my hunch is that for both of our types of families and where we came from, they would there's like helpers and fixers. So they
Yeah.
would be like, you don't want to do that. And not in like a divorces bad way, but in like this, no, this is your person. Like you need them to be your best version of yourself.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it would be an all hands in type of
Mhm.
situation where it would just, and like they would just take a lot of discussion to be like how you got to that resolution. I think
Yeah.
it would be hard.
I think people in my life know that I don't make decisions like in a rash way ever.
Yeah.
And that
Yep.
like I really think things through. And
Yep.
like if I come to a decision, I've come to a decision
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
And that they really like trust my judgment. And like I did hear that a lot. Like I trust your judgment, which I feel like
Mhm.
is like saying like it's like not I support what you're doing, but more like, you know, like no matter how I feel, I know you're doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was it's a good
Yep.
it's a good thing to say to someone. It's
Right.
it's like it's like one of those things though. Like when you tell people, they're kind of like, how do you respond to someone
Yeah.
like who says that they're getting a divorce?
I
Like,
know. Yeah.
yeah, it's super complex.
Yeah.
Every divorce is different, so you have it's not like, you know,
There's-
all cancer is bad, you
Yeah.
know, but like are all divorces bad?
Right.
It's sometimes not.
And like there isn't really the right thing to say, or
Yeah.
there isn't like the standard right thing to say. Like you said, it's very dependent upon the divorce.
Yeah.
What's something that you wanted to is there something that like you wanted to hear? The classic like your kid comes out to you and then like what are the right things to say?
Yeah.
What are the right things to say in your experience when someone tells you that they're getting a divorce?
Yeah, it's a good question. Everyone's first response is usually, "Oh, I'm so sorry," which I guess is a good place to start.
Yeah. It's like showing
Uh-huh.
empathy or trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like an affirmation of like, oh wow, that must be very difficult, or, you know, something along those lines is probably better than like, I'm sorry, because like
Yeah.
every divorce is difficult. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
some might be for the better, but they're all difficult.
Yeah.
Even managing like some of the logistic stuff is
Yep.
is difficult. Yeah, I would say that listening is so much more important than saying
Yeah.
anything, and just maybe asking questions about like, how are you holding up?
Yep.
How can I support you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are things that people, if someone said to me like, oh my God, that sounds really difficult. How are you handling things? And how can I support you?
Yeah.
Like done. Like that's a great
Yep.
way to, yeah. And I think for the most part, it was like, can you talk to me about
Yeah.
like some of the things I'm going through, and just like listen. And most of my friends really showed up for me.
Yeah. What do you feel like people don't talk about enough when it comes to divorce? Like, what were the things that you're like, no one ever talks about this?
Well, I think no one really talks about the logistics of their divorce,
Yeah.
like the legal logistics of it.
Yep.
Everyone is different, again, about how they go through like the legal process. But one thing I've noticed is that now when I find like people who are out there who are going through some of the things that I'm going through, like we immediately like kind of trauma bond over
Yeah, yeah.
like the experience. So I've heard like from a lot of people now about like what it looks like to go through a divorce from a logistical perspective. And sometimes it takes people years.
Right.
Mhm.
And I didn't really even realize that.
Yeah.
You kind of think like, oh, like you just get divorced and like, I don't know, you file some paperwork and then that's
Mhm.
it. But depending on like the complexity of your finances and
Yep.
the complexity of like, it's like way more complex if you have children. You actually even have to fill out different paperwork, legal paperwork if you have children
Yeah.
versus not. You have to wait 3 months to get a divorce. Like they force you to wait 3 months at the minimum.
Just think about it, or like,
Like,
is
I
there
guess.
a rationale
Yeah, like
behind
to
it?
think about it.
The are you sure clause?
Yeah, I mean, it seems a little heavy-handed of the government to be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
no, you have to be together for 3. But I think a lot of people actually may, or during those 3
3
months,
months,
like decide not to
reconsider.
get to
Yeah.
divorce.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good thing. You should probably have that for getting married too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you sure? It should be the same waiting period.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, everyone. That concludes part 1 of our episode with Adam. Thank you for tuning in. And we will have part 2 next week. And Tyler promises to come to Song of the Week with 2 because he owes you one. So, as always, thank you for listening. This is There Are No Gays in Montana. Please find us on all socials at No Gays in Montana. Or, of course, always send us an email with questions, comments, feedback, anything. That's nogaysinmontana@gmail.com. Thanks, everyone.